Hey everyone, your friendly neighborhood cat is back with another Sims 4 house building video. Today we are actually going to be doing a build that was inspired by a conversation I had with my boyfriend. I was trying to explain to him how, the house that I lived in when I was younger, and how it had this hot tub downstairs, and it was really weird because there was kind of carpeting in the same room that the hot tub was in, and then we also had a sauna, and it was just a really cool house, especially when I feel like you're young. You just think those things are extra cool and extra special. And I didn't grow up in a wealthy family whatsoever, so those things were definitely huge luxury items for us. So it was just a really exciting home to live in. And yeah, I was trying to explain the layout to him, and I couldn't really figure it out. And I couldn't really explain it properly. So I thought, why not build in The Sims, and then he can kind of look at it that way. I actually jump into another screen. I can't remember what part of the build I do that, but I jump into another part of the screen and I actually look this house up on Google Maps and look at the outside just so I could get the outside perfect. And this is actually the part right here. So this is me just looking at the outside of it. But yeah, it was just a really neat house. And it was super just a fun house for kids, especially to live in. One of my fondest memories is actually in the basement, and you'll see me put a little TV in and everything. But in the hot tub room, we always had this little, the TVs with the big box on the back. Because of course you didn't really have flat screen TVs back in the day. I feel so weird calling it back in the day because I'm not old at all, or not that old. But yeah, we had those giant TVs that weighed hundreds of pounds, and that was always sitting on the floor. And I can remember my grandma was playing Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega. I can't remember. I think it's Sega Genesis. And she had almost beaten the entire game, but of course with those games you can't save and come back to it. And so I tripped over the cord and she was so mad at me. My grandma was super into video games and would always play video games with me and my brother. And yeah, I tripped over the cord and oh my goodness, I shut off the system and she had to start from the very beginning, and I felt so bad because she was so close to winning and she was so mad at me. But yeah, I thought that was just a funny memory to share. But yeah, we always used to play Sonic the Hedgehog, and then also for Sega there was the Lion King game. Of course we also had a Nintendo, but I found that we were more into Sonic the Hedgehog and the Lion King game versus Mario. Those were just kind of our two favorite games. My brother was really good at the Lion King game, and I actually recently played that, and oh my goodness, it is so, when you're a kid, I feel you get a hold of it quite well, and you can beat the levels, and then you try to go back to playing it, and it's just horrible. I actually also bought Conker's Bad Fur Day for my Xbox, and I used to play that game when I was a kid all the time, which I wasn't allowed to play that game, let me say that. But I used to play that all the time and try to hide the fact that I was playing it from my parents, because of course if you have played that game, it is definitely not a kid's game. And playing it recently, I got so frustrated and I literally wanted to rip my hair out because that game is so hard now. But yeah, I thought that was just kind of a cool thing to share with you guys, was that I used to kind of play Sega games in the basement of this house. So I do have a ton of memories. We also, my mom fell asleep in this little pool that we had. We had a kiddie pool, and the place that we lived in was so hot. But yeah, there was this little kiddie pool, and my mom fell asleep in the kiddie pool because it was so hot that day, and actually got a 3rd-degree sunburn. It was horrible, and I remember I had to call the ambulance. So there's some pretty crazy memories in this house. But that being said too, I feel once you hit a certain age, you can remember things better. I have a few memories from even as far back as 3, which is really crazy, because I was asking my mom about this house one time, and I was like, oh, this, and she's like, how do you know about that? And I was like, I don't know, I had a dream about it, and she was like, that was this house that we lived in, and then she told me all about it, and I thought that was kind of weird that I have the memories from that house. But yeah, I feel we lived in this house a fairly relevant time to me having like recollection of my memories and able to put them into thought better. I would be interested in seeing my mom watch this video and seeing what she thinks about it and if I got it right. Man, I was gonna put that stone coffee table in because my mom and my dad had actually built a stone coffee table in this house, and I can remember that, and they put like lights in it, and it was so cool. But yeah, so I was gonna use that stone coffee table, but I would be really interested in seeing what my mom thought about this house, because I showed her the outside of the house. She came over and I was kind of working on it, and I showed her the outside, and she was like, oh my gosh, we lived in that house. And I was like, yeah, that's where I got the idea from. I remember my friends lived across the street from me, and one day we were playing in her front yard, and we were looking for 4-leaf clovers, and I feel like when you're a kid, those things are like really magical. And her whole front lawn was covered in 4-leaf clovers. Like, we each had a huge jar of 4-leaf clovers, and it was like the craziest thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. And I was just like, oh my goodness. They were kind of they were such nice people, and they were a religious family, so I always thought that had to do with it. I was like, maybe if I'm religious, 4-leaf clovers will grow in my front yard, which is kind of like a silly thought, but yeah, that's kind of what I thought and how I put that into perspective when I was a kid. I mean, my family's religious, but we were just like from different religions, so yeah, it was kind of funny thinking about that memory again while building this too. I kept all of the rooms and pretty much everything in this house really basic and simple. I thought it would be more fun if you guys were able to download it on the gallery and furnish it for yourselves. Which of course my gallery link is in the description always down below. So feel free to check out some of my builds on it. But yeah, so I thought it would be fun if you guys could just kind of furnish it yourself, so I just put basic furniture in, nothing too crazy. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this build, so I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoyed creating it. It is like still snowing where I live, like so much snow, and I just looked outside and it's just like coming down continually. I really wanted to go ice skating today, so hopefully I can. I've kind of been feeling sick lately, so I don't know if it's a good idea, but I want to really bad. So, but yeah, just kind of working on the bathrooms. All of the houses that I lived in always had like that style of linoleum, and I don't know if it like, I mean, maybe they got inspiration from real life, but yeah, like I feel like a lot of the houses that I lived in had that linoleum, which is insane. There's also this house that I really want to recreate that I live kind of around, like not, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like a 20-minute drive from my house or like a 10-minute drive from my house, but I know that's like a huge time jump, but I wouldn't mind recreating that in The Sims. I feel like that would be a lot of fun because it's just a really pretty kind of alpine cabin-y build, which I know I literally just did before this build went up. But yeah, I don't know, I just thought that would be really fun. I'm hopefully going to be a lot more available on YouTube in the new year, but then again, I'm not going to make any promises because I always suck at making promises and making timelines, so I'm not even going to bother trying to do that. I'm just going to do my best to upload videos for you guys. Because I do have a lot of fun, and I love getting your feedback like I was mentioning in the last video. But yeah, this TV that I'm kind of putting down right there, that is where we used to play on our Sega all the time with my grandma. I can't remember, yeah, I actually do end up leaving it in there, so. And that was actually my grandfather's room. Oh, and then upstairs, obviously, my parents' room was the master bedroom, and then my room was across from that, and my sister's room was next to me, and then my brother actually got this kind of area, or like the whole kind of other side, which was really cool. And I remember he used to take his mattress, because he just kind of had his mattress like sitting on the ground, and he would like roll us up in the mattress, and then we'd like take turns jumping on each other. Totally not safe, but like we were so young that we didn't really know what was safe or not. My mom would probably kill us if she knew that we were doing that. But yeah, so another memory of this house. I don't know, it's just so much fun building this house, and then all these memories popping back in my head. We had like a really tall hedge off to the side, but I feel like they don't really have that in The Sims yet. They kind of have that medium hedge, but this hedge like you couldn't see over, so that's why I put those trees and stuff there. So I just thought that that would be kind of cool. Sorry, my nose just like got really itchy there. But yeah, so I think we're getting down to like the last bit of furnishing this house. I didn't put anything on the deck, I just realized. But honestly, that's pretty fine because, yeah, I just kind of built this to get the layout of the house anyway. I didn't really plan on doing much else other than that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Here's the front of the actual house again. And like always, I will see you guys all next time. Bye, guys! Hey everyone, your friendly neighborhood cat is back with a Sims 4 house building video that I honestly never thought that I was going to be filming, and it's actually a build for toddlers.